Good afternoon. Welcome back to Rolling Hills Farm. Dave here. You can see I'm in the big barn, and we're working this chilly afternoon on bringing bags of newly cleaned rye seed in here for storage. This rye will be used for seed in the coming year for cover cropping, but also to raise the rye for grain to sell and to feed to our cows. We started cleaning the rye over the last several weeks using our antique fanning mill. A fanning mill is a device that takes the weed seed and the other foreign materials out of the grain in preparation for bagging the grain to be seed. Our fanning mill is kind of an antique. It's a Backaway brand made in Ohio, probably in the 1940s. We bought it in central Minnesota. It had been kind of abandoned, but works great. And we use it every year to clean seed, sometimes for oats, sometimes barley, in this case for rye. It takes out all the foreign materials out of the grain, so that you're not replanting weed seeds that might have grown up in the field that year. We don't spray it all. We operate largely organic, so sometimes we'll get some weeds, some hay, other types of grasses that grow up, and you can get some seed through the combine, and you don't want to replant that weed seed and then get a weedy hayfield the next year. So we clean the seed so that it's nice and pure. This was our first attempt at growing rye on a commercial scale, and it was very tall. It was almost difficult to get the swather through. It made for large windrows for the combine. There was a lot of straw that we ended up baling, and quite a bit of grain that was clean and will make very good seed for a future crop. The unusual thing about cereal rye or winter rye is that you plant it in the fall or late summer. It goes dormant under the snow all winter and then grows early in the spring, and of course for us grew very tall, and we were able to combine it early. Boy, this back hilltop is so heavy back here. The rye was so tall that I'm having to travel in first gear with the speed control all the way back. I'm just crawling through the field. If I go any faster, I hear slugs going through the cylinder, and I'm afraid I'll plug the combine. That's how heavy this straw is back here. You can see it just rolling over. We had about 100 bushels of rye still in the gravity box from combining. And the way it works is I take about a 5-gallon pail and dump it in the top of the fanning mill. It goes through the top shaker where the large chunks of straw are removed. So we had to change to a smaller screen because the rye heads were getting through into the grain. So now you see the smaller screen. then falls down into the lower shaker, and there's air drawing it down, holding the grain so that the weed seed falls straight through that lower shaker. We set it up so the clean grain came out of the fanning mill into an auger pan. The auger then lifts it up to the back of the pickup truck where neighbors Rick and Greg helped me that day to bag the grain. Rye is quite a bit heavier than oats, 56 pounds a bushel rather than 36 for oats. We put about 50 pounds in each bag, then zip tied the top. A 50-pound bag is a lot easier for us to handle in the spring when we're seeding. By the time we ran out of rye, we had about 50 bushels bagged. That got moved over to the barn for winter storage. You see, we've put a little bed here for Hermie the barn cat. He likes to sit in this window and let the sun bake him on cold winter evenings or afternoons. But there's really a method here to keeping the cats in here with the grain because they're going to eat any mice that might decide they want to go after this grain. And it's been very effective for us. We've stored grain here in the big barn for years, and with these barn cats running around, that's Mouse, we never have damage to the seed. Over there is our oat seed that was cleaned a year ago and is put away here for spring planting. And now this rye. Well, the rye is safely stored away in the barn along with the seed oats. We'll be using those seed oats in the spring for a couple of fields of oats that will be next year's grain. And then we'll be planting that rye next summer, August probably, for our next rye crop. Thanks for watching. As you can see, winter's here, and I imagine we'll be doing some more snow plowing and other early winter work. We hope you'll join us then. We'll see you. Louie's just hanging out in his little kitty hut. Keeping warm, aren't you, Louie? That's how you sleep the winter away.